we are
You
recording.
look good, by the way. You recovered okay?
Yeah, I don't think I'm 100% yet, but I'm way better than last week. Way better.
Way better from your phenomenon. Do they know that story?
No. They don't know that story. No one knows.
Actually, a lot of people know. We were talking about it somewhere on another Zoom call.
Yeah, the push call last week.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
That's funny.
Anyways, guys, welcome to our call. So nice. If you are new, welcome to our team call. It's usually on 8 p.m., but Tanya's call is also at 8 p.m., so we are accommodating for her, and we're so excited to have Tanya, aka The Machine, as our guest speaker today. And just really quick, I just want to share like a little fun story about Tanya. So I signed up, and I don't even know if she knows this, when I signed up in April 2013, and I believe, Tanya, you signed up like in July or June of that same year?
August.
So it was a few months, and I still remember when you signed up because Danielle like posted in the Fin Funky group, and like right away I posted in my team group. I'm like, oh my god, like Tanya just joined like our team, and I texted my husband. I'm like, you are not gonna believe who just joined our team, and he's like, who? And I'm like, Tanya, and I was so just starstruck, and I still remember being on the first Zoom call, and you were on, and I was just like, act cool. It's just so starstruck. And we first met you too. I think I met you, I think it was on the cruise maybe the first time I met you last year, 2 years ago. And again, really, really starstruck. But, once I got to meet you, of course you're amazing. But then, I got to meet you and you're just a normal person like all of us. You're a mom and she has a wonderful husband. And now she actually lives here in Texas. She lives about an hour away from us here in Allen, Texas. So it's really, really cool it's been really, really cool to get to know you, get to hang out with you and get to know Derek and everything. And so.
Yeah, I think our husbands are like total bromancing right now.
Yeah.
Yes, I see you. Every time I look at Derek's phone, I see it's a Rom's number or like messages. I love it. I love it. Well, thank you guys so much. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I interrupt?
No, go ahead.
Okay, sorry. But I just wanted to thank you guys for moving your call earlier. I really appreciate it. Sorry that it's better this way because that way I wouldn't have to rush off the phone. So I'm glad you guys are all here. And I know Letty wanted me to speak on a couple of things, but I think it's always important to give a little bit of a brief history or, of how I got started with Beachbody because I think, or with coaching rather. And I think because sometimes there's a misconception about who you are in this business and how hard you may or may not have to work. And I think it's important to know that no matter who you are in this business, whether you're someone who feels like they're super shy, who has no network or maybe no Facebook friends, feels like they may not be able to build a successful business as someone who maybe is in videos. And I'm here to tell you that we are all exactly the same. That just happens to be a part of my job being in videos. And that's just how I started actually. So I guess really brief on how I started with Beachbody is that I didn't know anything about Beachbody. I never heard of P90X. I didn't know anything about Beachbody. Sean and I met many years ago, like 11, 12 years ago. I lost count. Anyway, on a dance job. We were dancers together, and that's how we met. And then after the year, it was like a year or two later after that show, I went to his birthday party, and he was like, "Oh my God, I have my own fitness." I forgot what he called it. It was test group. I have my own fitness DVDs coming out in the test group. I was like, what are you talking about? Anyway, so he invited me to come to his test group classes. He was doing a hip hop abs, his very first Beachbody program test group. And so I showed up to just go work out with him because, I forgot to tell you, when we were doing this show together, Sean would actually train us every morning. He would put us through a workout, because when we saw our costumes for this show, it was like, I kid you not, it was like wearing a Post-it. It was the tiniest stuff ever. And I was like, so he's like, well, I can meet you guys all at the gym every morning. We had a gym where we rehearsed every day, and we all met with him, like 10 or 15 of us met with him every morning, and he started training us. So it's kind of like how it all started. And so fast forward, I started doing hip hop ads with him, and I've been with him ever since. So that's why maybe you've seen me in all of his videos. I think the ones that I wasn't in asylum because I was pregnant, and so that probably wasn't a good idea. And then Matt 30, I was there, but I was behind the camera on that one. So that's kind of the short story of how I started with Beachbody. Now, becoming a coach was something that I never, ever, and when I say ever, like with 10 exclamation points, ever wanted to do in my life. I remember when the network was forming, because again, I've been around since Hip Hop Abs, and we would sit down the hall and we would know that there were meetings like happening down the hall for this thing, and it used to be called $1 Million Body. Fun fact. Might come up in like Trivial Pursuit or like maybe something at Summit one day. Fun fact. It was called $1 Million Body. And I was like so terrified of it. I thought it was like, I called it creepy. I called it weird. Bunch of salespeople. The only thing I was like, oh, it's like Amway. That's what I thought. And I don't even know what I was talking about back then, but I had no desire at all to ever be a part of that side. And even at the time I wasn't allowed to because of like conflict of interest, I guess, because I was working with Sean or whatever. So fast forward, a lot of people don't really know this side of my story. In 2010, I went bankrupt. I filed for bankruptcy, which I don't think I shared until my birthday of last year. So this is very new for me to share. Now I'm able to share it comfortably because of Beachbody, because I feel, because of all the personal development that I do, which I also resisted, but because I do so much personal development, I'm able to share that story. And I feel like if I can share that and help at least one person who is struggling financially like I did, that it was worth telling. So I went through a whole lot of things, that led me to become a coach, but it kind of all happened at the same time. I gained 60 pounds with my pregnancy, and my baby was only 10 pounds, or actually 9 pounds. But I got really big, and I never thought that I would ever get smaller again or be anywhere near my insanity machine body. And I didn't really care, to be honest with you, because my focus was on being a mother and being able to just survive as a mother, and nothing else mattered. And the thought of working out was something that was like, are you joking? And at this time, remember, there was no T25. There was no, at the time, we had P90X, Turbo. We had a few Chalene programs, and Hip Hop app. There wasn't that much, right? And I sure was not doing Insanity right after my C-section. And so I did T25 because Sean asked me to be a part of it. And I said, sure, I'll help you run the program. I'll help you develop it. I didn't realize what he meant was, no, I want you to be in the videos. And I kind of sat there and cried, because I was like, there's no way, you'll never get me on camera ever again, like ever. Like, do you see this body? There's just no way. And it wasn't just even the physical, it was how I felt inside. I was ashamed. Even though I said I didn't care because I was a new mom, deep down inside, I didn't want to put my body on display anymore, especially because I never wanted to be compared to like my old self. I was like, here's this girl that everybody loved to hate. Yeah, I've heard it 1,000 times. The girl that everybody tries to keep up with, or the girl that everybody tries to beat, to this new girl who can't even like hold a plank for more than 2 seconds. Like I couldn't do anything. And it was a hard recovery. So when he asked me to do T25, I was like, I will help you behind the camera. long story short, I went through the program and it worked. I was a total skeptic. I'm always that way. I don't know why. I'm like, that's not going to work. It's 25 minutes. Do you see this body? 25 minutes? Like, I can't even do anything. And I was just mortified because I went from, I don't know if you guys have done Insanity, but I went from being that kind of, athletic, body, I guess, and being strong and being able to have that kind of stamina to like, I could barely like walk around the block. Like, it was just that bad. But I did it and I started to see the results and I started to think, oh, is this what everybody goes through? It was my first time. It was like that aha moment of like, this is what everybody goes through. And I'm not saying that you need that to be successful at this business, but to go through a program from start to finish and have some sort of transformation, whether it's, emotional, physical, both, financial, whatever it is, if you have found something in you that has changed for the better from doing the Beachbody workout, that makes you a believer in this. And you have to believe in it, right? I think we all know that. I'm sure Letty, teaches that to all, that you have to be 100% believer in our products and our programs, or else none of this works. Like, it just doesn't. So that's why, we are all big on doing our programs from start to finish. We publicly talk about it, and that's what I'm going to get into next. But really quick, also at the same time, I've been bankrupt. It was 2010, so this is a while ago. I had no talks about becoming a coach. I really wish maybe that coaching, somebody came to me about it that long ago, because maybe I wouldn't have had to do that. But whatever, I can't change the past. But 2 years ago, when I became a coach, right? It's only been 2 years, but sometimes it feels like forever, and then sometimes it feels like yesterday. When I signed up to be a coach, the reason why I became a coach was I was almost right back where I was in 2010. I had lost 50% of my income and was told that in 1 month, that's all I was going to be getting. I had 30 days to figure out what the hell I was going to do to pay 100% of my bills in New York City. I just moved my entire family, my young baby, to New York City, away from our family. So we're paying, for babysitters, and just living in New York City costs so much money. Only to find out that my contract had been cut. And was that a fellow New Yorker raising their hand? Yeah, you understand. And I freaked out. I literally freaked out. And I thought, here we go again. Like, how can this happen again? So I didn't know what to do. And a friend of mine, who actually was not Danielle and I were friends at the time. And for some reason, I still thought what she did was crazy. I don't know. I don't know how she does that. It's just crazy and weird. And somebody told me, you should become a coach. And I said, no, that's a bunch of creepy salespeople in a cult. I don't want anything to do with that. And I'm sure you may have felt that way at some point. And I'm sure you're going to come across people, your own, that you talk to, that are going to be like, how many times have you heard the stupid words? No, it's a pyramid scheme. By the way, if anybody ever asks you that, this is exactly what I say back, because you'll get it a lot if you haven't already. I always go, do I look like someone that would do something illegal? Like, really? And it usually shuts it down right away. So in case anybody ever says it's a pyramid scheme, it's not a pyramid scheme, because one, we actually have product. And two, you're like, that's illegal. Would I do something illegal? So anyway, in case that was just a little fun tip. So that's what happened. I kind of did it out of desperation. Didn't think that it would ever really do what it has done so far. And I kind of had no choice. So I get it. When you're at different places in your life, I do understand when it's something that you need to do because it's going to pay your bills and keep food on the table. You do have a different sense of urgency. So just remember that. And everybody's different and everybody's on a different goal. And I had to learn that in a hard way as a leader, realizing not everybody has that same urgency as you. So as you start building your teams and signing coaches, it's really important to know what their why is. It really is important, and to know what their goals are. I know those words are like driven home, like you're so tired of hearing it, but it's so true. Your why is so important to discover what your new coaches' whys are and what their goals are, because that's the only way that you're going to really be able to guide them and help them. And for you to also not take it personally if your coaches aren't doing what you think they should be doing, or doing what you're doing. Just know that everybody's on a different path. But the minute they tell you they want to push, well, there you go. Then you're going to push. So I replaced that income that I lost. And then exactly about 2 years since I signed up, I not only replaced it, but I matched it and passed my income. So that's when I moved to Texas, and that's what brought me here. So because I didn't really need to spend that kind of money living in New York City. So that's kind of like my brief. I tried to make it brief, sorry, on how I became a coach. And my success, I guess, as a coach is doing exactly what all of you guys are doing. Me being in a video or being who I am, that people know. They don't care. People don't care. Sure, people get, like, even Leslie says, like, oh, I was starstruck when I met you, but it didn't make her sign up to be a coach under me, right? Like, well, obviously she was already a coach at the time, but it really just depends on who you connect with. And I have to do the same work. Latinos, I struggle just like everybody else. I have to show up to my job just like everybody else does. I have to show up and post something even when I feel like I have absolutely nothing to say. So I'm here to give you, Letty wanted me to speak on a couple of things, but one of them was how I weave Beachbody into my daily posts. And then we'll talk about a few things on ending the year strong. Is that right, Letty? Yeah, is that right? Okay. So here's what I post about, and then I'll give you a couple of tips for when you don't know what to post about. So I post about 4 F's. It's really easy to remember. Family, fitness, this one you may not do, fashion, and food. And then sometimes there's a 5th, and it's finances. I don't really do that very often, but it's important, and I'm about to make a post about finances this week because that is a big part of my journey. So that's how, those are my 4 areas, maybe 5 areas that I always post about. And it's really easy to remember it that way. I'm like, it's all the F's. And here's this. I don't believe in posting Beachbody. It's just gross. Like, I think it's gross. I know that if I was scrolling, like, I don't want to that doesn't tell me anything about you, really. Like, I want to know who you are as a person, because that's really what people are buying, right? They're buying because they're buying into you. The products sell themselves. It'd be different if we were selling something or promoting something that really didn't give value to people. Well, everything gives value, but you know what I mean? Like, it's so much harder to sell something that you don't believe in, right? It's hard. I remember doing retail once upon a time, and that sucked because I truly did not believe that shirt looked good on you. But I do believe in every single thing that we stand for. I believe in everything, and that's because I do it. That's because I do the programs and I drink Shakeology. Fun fact, I actually used to, I was the old Shakeology poster girl once upon a time. That was another reason why I couldn't be a coach many years ago, but I didn't want to anyway. But at that time, I hated Shakeology. I didn't drink it. And I was all over, I even did the workouts for it. Like, don't ever look those up, ever. Don't ever watch those. Don't ever look them up, and don't ever tell anybody. And I never drank it, and I never believed in it. So there you go. You have to believe in it, and you have to do it. So I think that's, while it seems elementary, but you'd be surprised how many coaches, or people in our community that aren't really like being proof of the product, right? Being a product of the product. So here's what I do. Without, I don't know if Letty uses this, but I know Danielle does it, without vomiting Beachbody all over your social media, because you don't want to be that person, right? You want to be someone that's a source of motivation and a source of inspiration to somebody. And it doesn't always have to be something that deep. Like I post about fashion. Is that really that deep? No, but it's fun and people love it. People love to see what you're wearing. Why do you think a lot of us like those dumb Us Weekly magazines? Like, right? They're the stupidest things ever, but you're standing in line at the grocery store and you will pick it up and look through it or I buy it at the airports. They're just fun sometimes. It's a big waste of money, but we do it. Right? So there's some things that are just fun because we don't want to think. So the very first post of the day, I would recommend being something motivational. And it doesn't have to be super deep, but what it's going to get in the habit of is maybe doing your workouts first thing in the morning because it gives you something, right? It gives you some content. So I don't know, everyone's got a different schedule. So I'm not saying that you have to completely change your schedule around, but morning posts are usually what get people going, right? So if people are following you and following your posts, that's what's going to motivate them and keep them coming back to you every morning because they want to see what you're going to post. And I can't tell you how many people, I'm sure Leslie too, and I know she posts like that in the morning, is like how many people go, oh, if it wasn't for your post, I would have skipped my workout today. And that starts the conversation. That starts the relationship building. So that's usually my first post. And of course, since I'm a product of the product, it's a Beachbody workout that I do, right? So, and it doesn't have to be a super cool, colorful graphic. It could just be, it doesn't even have to be a sweaty selfie. Maybe you're not that person. Just be you, but don't just flash a quote. Don't do that though, because people don't like, if you do that, chances are someone does this. That's the scroll, right? That's the scroll. You want someone to stop on you. And then my midday posts, I usually aim to post 3. I used to post more when I was really heavily building my social media, but I think 3 is good. And my midday post is more like a snapshot of like what I'm doing in my day. That's fun. Like just a fun post. Just because people like to see what you're doing. I don't know. And somehow, how do you weave that into Beachbody? Well, it doesn't necessarily have to be directly talking about Beachbody, but there's something always in the background running around, right? So I'll just take a fashion post. Well, the people that like your fashion post, I'm usually in some kind of like fun, funky workout outfit, right? And so those are people, if they're wearing fun, funky workout outfit, chances are they work out, or they like to, or at least they like to just wear workout clothes. But they're in that mode, okay? So even though I didn't say anything about fitness or anything like that, just posting it, there's always that kind of background thing going on that you're promoting fitness of some sort. And then at night, I usually do something like about food. I just posted my dinner tonight. But I don't always do that because I sometimes find that gets to be a little redundant too. Like just always, like I always see as soon as 21 Day Fix goes on sale, all I see in news feeds are pictures of food in containers. That's all I see, right? So it's important to kind of just find your voice in your social media, but know that you don't have to blatantly talk about Beachbody in your post. That comes when you actually develop the relationship, right? Because I think what's starting to happen, there are so many coaches now, and we're all running our business on social media, and you got to be able to stand out. So what are some of those ways you stand out? I know that I've shared this. It's not me. I didn't come up with this, but Lindsay Matway came up with something that was really cool, and it's talking about when you don't. There's two tips I want to talk to you about what to post, and if you don't know what to post about. If you get a piece of paper, right, and you fold it in half, I'm going to do it for you. Fold it in half. And I don't have to show you. I know you understand, but it's fun to show. So you fold it in half, and on one side, you write a like or same, and then on the other side, you write different. And on the left side, you're going to list all the things that all of us coaches have in common, right? And it's a pretty short list. Like we all like to work out. We all love Shakeology. We love Beachbody programs. I don't know, right? So those are the things we like free trips. We like whatever it is that we all like to do. We all like to help people. And then you're going to get about halfway through and like run out of things to say. Right. Then on this side, it's everything about you that's different. It's actually a really fun exercise to kind of learn a little bit more about yourself and some fun things about yourself. And when you're going to post on social media, every now and then you'll grab something from here. But this side is the side you're going to grab all your content from, is about you, how to promote you. And you have to be comfortable with sharing that. I'm not saying you have to like divulge everything about your life on social media, because I do believe that you need to keep some things private, but and that's up to you. So you like something, with some people don't want to put their kids on social media and stuff like that. So I understand that's all entirely up to you. What I'm saying is find your voice with social media, and you will start to, because you have to remember, you're trying to get people that are not Beachbody people. Because everybody that follows you usually are like other Beachbody people. And you want to kind of go out there. And I know like Letty, she uses really cool hashtags. And even I learned that. I'm like, look at that random hashtag. Oh, that's so smart. Like Dallas moms, or I don't know what you post. It's something. You post some really cool hashtags because you want to draw people in who don't know anything about, who aren't already immersed in Beachbody or another coach or somebody already working with a coach. So you want to, go out there and help more people, get more people connected to our programs. So that's one thing. And then another tip, what I always do, I don't know about you, but most coaches, we are glued to our phones, right? I mean, it's like everything. It's like a vital organ. And I snap pictures all day long, and I just store them for like one day. I'm like, oh, I got to post something. And I just go through my little library and find something that I took a picture. Maybe I took it 2 weeks ago, whatever it is. I just snap pictures all day long, because when you don't have anything to talk about, and there will be many, me too. I'm like, oh my God, I have nothing to say today. I got nothing. And I'll scroll through. I'm like, oh, there's something I can talk about. So I recommend that it's kind of just like journaling, right? You constantly are keeping, and then also sometimes you just happen to have one of those days where it's like light bulb, and you have too many things to share, but you want to be careful of doing that, right? So like save it, like save the goods. And I know I didn't really talk directly about how to weave in Beachbody, because I do that on purpose. If you are truly being a product of the product, it's gonna just come out without even having to say, right? It's just gonna come out in your post, because that's your life. It's your lifestyle. And even just posting about being a busy parent. So again, I talk about family, fitness, fashion, and food, and sometimes finances. So there's always, that's a lot to talk about. There's a lot to talk about in there. And always with the intent. Just remember, the intent of social media is, yes, it's fun, and it's engaging, but also giving people something of value, right? That's what's going to bring them back to you. So that's what I'm always trying to remember. Like when I post something, I'm like, is this really like giving them anything? And again, even if it's a fun, stupid, silly post, it's still, maybe it's just humor for the day, or it's giving someone a little piece of your humor, or your personality. So those are the ways that I weave Beachbody into my daily social media. I don't know if anybody has any questions about that, or Letty, if you want to ask anything.
No, I love that. And I will share just a little tip for everyone and for you too. Like something I learned from Rhonda. I thought it was brilliant. Whenever you have nothing to post about, what she does is she scrolls like really deep, like in her Instagram or Facebook, like maybe like 6 months to a year ago. And she
repost.
Yeah, repost something like that was a big hit. And I know last week when I had pneumonia, and that was like, what the heck? No one wants to keep seeing my sick face. So I did that. I thought that was a really good idea too. But those are really great tips that you gave us. And I definitely agree, it shouldn't be all about Beachbody, because that does get annoying. And especially if you are, posting the same redundant things. Does anyone have any questions for Tanya? Raise your hand and I can unmute you. Christy.
I see a hand. Yeah.
Okay, Christy, you're unmuted. Oh, wait. Sorry, I think I'm muted. Now you're unmuted.
Okay. Can you repeat the 4 F's one more time?
Oh yeah, family,
Okay.
fitness, fashion, food, and some people like to talk about finances, but in a like respect, like not in a creepy way. Everyone's
Okay.
like, I find it, okay, I'm just gonna say, I find it really tacky when people post their paychecks. I think it's really tacky. but if you talk about the life that Beachbody affords you, that's different. Okay, that's totally different. And of course, you have to use your income disclaimer, so everybody's got that, right? So we don't get in trouble. Yeah, so make sure that if you ever talk about free trips and in any kind of pay that you at all receive, just make sure you do that. Yeah, so those are the things that I post about. Not everybody will share family stuff on it. That's something that's a little bit of a, just a personal decision. Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone else have a question for Tanya?
Doesn't have to be about social media. Yeah.
So you did such a great job, Tanya. See?
No, I kind of ramble, but and I know there was something. There's questions coming in.
So at what point can you see that? At what point do you recommend a like page?
And will you? So there's 2 schools of thought on this, and we're even some of us have been met, like me, Danielle, Lori, Kim. We've been messaging about this even tonight because people kind of flip back and forth. So I'm from the school of use one or the other, don't use both, because it's just confusing and it's too much work for you. I recommend using a like page only, but some people find that it's tough to build it right away, and so they're still using, so I get that. So they're still using their personal page because there's engagement there and you have friends there, and some people do train that way, that, add 3 people to your friend list and all that stuff. I don't use my personal page at all because I just don't want to keep up with it, and I can't add any more people. It's full. So it's kind of pointless for me, right? I can't even I think I can request you, but I can't, so I don't use it. So that's for me. And I also think with a like page, you have much more reach, and it's unlimited reach, but it's fully public. So you have to, I don't really care, because if I'm posting it, then whatever, it's out there. I don't really have anything to hide. And if I do want to hide it, I just don't post it. So it's tough. I don't know what you do, Letty, but I only use my like page, and I encourage my team to build it right away. And but they're still using their personal page until they can switch everybody over. I kind of yell at them sometimes. I'm like, just tell everybody on your personal page to follow you on this page. It's like you're just moving. You're relocating. Even put up a relocating sign. Say, no longer going to be posting here. Go to my like page. Boom, and just and move over. Because if you're putting all the goods in your personal page, what's going to make them go into your like page, right? They're not going to check both. They don't want to check both. So I just kind of just put up a blanket post and said, everybody move that way. But that's what I think. I don't know if it's the right way.
And then they asked, do you have to pay for a like page?
So, I know I actually talked to Danielle about doing a team call about this, because I build mine organically, but I get that I have way more followers because I do have exposure. So I understand that, and I've never paid for an ad, and I've never boosted a post. I don't even know how to do it. I have no idea, but I do know that it works, that people do take out ads to build their page, and it does work. Didn't Brandy say that today? She paid $10 a day.
She pays $10 a day. Yeah. And
yeah.
So what I do is, if I have a really good post that did well organically, and usually it's videos, I'll pay to boost that, and usually it get really good turnout from that. But only if I only do that if the post does well organically. And organically means I didn't pay for it; it was free. I just posted it, and it got a lot of shares. It's happened before, with the recipes, some of my videos, and that's when I'll pay to boost it.
Yeah, see, that's a good tip. See, I don't know that. Because I've never done it.
Yeah, and it's not, and it's not that I mean, it's up to you. Like, sometimes I'll pay like $5, $10. I mean, it's not. I don't go crazy with it.
You mean a day or just for the one post?
Just for the one post.
Oh,
Daily.
so yeah. So I'm sorry, I don't really know because I don't do it. But I do want to learn more about it because I want to help my team also, look into that and find ways to build. So I asked Danielle, I'm sure a lot of us want to learn more about that. So I asked her to get us a guest speaker on that because she doesn't either. Like she doesn't, she has 1,000 followers, but but it's not easy. So we're trying to find, we're locating some other coaches who have done really well with building their like page without being in videos and without. So anyway.
Definitely. Well, I know I just have one more question for you, and then we'll let you go. Respect your time. I know you have your team call here in a second too.
Yeah.
But just one last thing I would say is, what are you and your team, or what tips are you giving your coaches right now? Because it's the end of the year, it tends to get a little bit more tough, to motivate people. And this is when a lot of coaches start to get discouraged. So just, what are things that you tell your coaches, or, that it's helping your coaches in your team right now?
Right. So because we are also pushing for top 10. So we've got that culture going on. And so that already right there is creating that energy because everybody is trying to push really hard to get Success Club for that reason as well. So that's one thing. And you guys are going to be doing the same thing, right? They know that, right? Yes. There's a bunch of us fit and funky. There's 7 of us that are pushing for top 10. I'm still trying to push for this year. We're at like 7 more weeks left. I'm still trying to push, but I'm doing a contest each month. And like last month, I even actually took that idea from you, Letty. We did a trick-or-treat contest, and I just posted like a snapshot of all the gifts that are going out. So I do a lot of prizes. You can, what I love, or some of the best prizes are just like PD, or gift cards to Amazon for personal development, even if it's just a few bucks to put towards it. So I'm doing that, and people love it. People love free stuff. They just do, and they just like, so I'm doing that. And as far as just, I'm trying to tell people that yes, this is the time of the year that people they don't want to hear anything about fitness. They don't want to hear about anything about eating right. But if you just keep planting the seeds, because come December, even the day after Thanksgiving, right? People are like, oh, right? They don't even, they can't eat anymore. Then they're already starting to think, and they'll remember that you reached out to them at one point, or that you reached out to them today, and they'll come back to you. And I know you guys are also doing the Go for No as well. We're doing the same thing, the Go for No challenge. And I think what's just important is every day reminding our teams that we just need to keep the energy going. So I'm doing that. I'm really not doing anything different than probably that you're doing, other than the push for top 10 is something that's really been driving home everybody trying to get Success Club. So, and just, that's it, really just telling everybody to keep pushing for Success Club and just keep trying to do these push groups or any kind of, so I'm doing a diamond push group right now as well. Try to get people to qualify for New Leader Conference. So I'm tying that in with just monthly things, contests, really just to keep the energy going, and holding everybody accountable is another thing too. So that's really all I'm doing, because I'm just reminding them that where we finish this year is really what is setting us up for January, because that January should already be planned in your head. Like, right, this month, December, January. I had a coach tell me she's planned up through April. I was like, good God, how did you? That's a little far. Like, I can't, me 3 months in advance is already pretty good planning for me, I think. So that's really what I just keep reminding them. And because 2 weeks out of November, or at least a week, is like Thanksgiving week, right? It's just see you later, right? And then probably 2 weeks in December, right? So that doesn't leave a whole lot of time to get this business done. And I remind my team that. And then they think about it, and I keep reminding them how many weeks are left, that we don't have that much time. Yeah, and before we know it, and just keeping everybody, the buzz up for Hammer and Chisel coming out, and really excited for that, the results. I'm really excited I don't know about you, but I need something new in my life, right? Are you guys feeling that? Like we're so spoiled as coaches, right? Like, I know. So that's why I'm actually going to do Asylum for the first time. I've never done it ever in my life. I've done some of the workouts, but I've never really done it. So I'm gonna do that because I just need something new, and that'll take me right into Hammer and Chisel. So just keep planting those seeds, because as soon as Hammer and Chisel launches, it's gonna be like the most annoying social media week of our life. Like, it really is. Everyone's gonna do a Hammer and Chisel. Everybody's, So this is why it's so important to do it now, right? To set up your contact list now, get those relationships going now, so that when people feel like frumpy and fat from the holidays, they'll come to be like, I feel fat, or whatever, I feel, I let my fitness go, I'm ready to go. You're right there. They know who exactly to turn to. So with that go for no, it's like right there. So hope that helped.
It did. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you giving us your time. And before I let you go, I'm going to take a screenshot. So everyone look into your camera, and everyone needs to look.
Oh, yeah, I need to look pretty. Hold on. You're welcome.
Ready? So I'm going to count to 3. 1, 2, 3. Yay. But thank you so much, Tanya. Really, really do appreciate it. I know my team was super excited. I wish so many of them would log on when I did a team call. Just kidding, guys. But thank you so much.
Yeah, be on her team calls. I got to congratulate you guys, though, before we go. You guys had like a crazy amount of Success Club hitters last month. Right. Yeah, what was it?
It was, I think, a total of like 25 total, I believe.
That's amazing.
For October, that really is amazing. I keep telling them, like, for October is so amazing, considering October is a tough month.
Oh my God, it was my worst month of my Beachbody career, like the worst. It just was, and I didn't do anything different. If anything, I might be like, I think because I'm doing a lot, maybe that's why. So maybe I got to cut back on, scale it back down a little bit. But you guys had a really good month, and I know, Lexi, what was your rank last month?
60. We're at 63 last month.
That's definitely going to go up. I don't know when the reports are coming out, but you guys are doing so amazing. Like, you're for a fairly new team, right? For a fairly new team to be like ranked like that, you guys are just don't give up, even on the days that it's just the worst, crappiest day ever. Some of your best stuff is going to come out on the days that you struggle the most, because it's when you actually push the most. And I will tell you, even though October was like I said, my worst month ever in Beachbody, it was actually my best month of work, meaning it made me really go back to the basics and work my ass off. And sometimes I will tell you, I've never had to work that hard, and I worked so hard, and it made me a better coach for it. We really did, because sometimes sometimes it gets easy sometimes, right? Not easy, but like a new program will come out. Great, you run the challenge group. Great, challenge packs. You're signing people, and the energy's good. And then all of a sudden, you come to this time of year, and just like, oh my God, you've got to like go back, right? You got to like go back to the basics and see what worked for you before and why it's not working now, and kind of reevaluate your whole business and everything that you're doing. So I think it made me a better coach for it. So
absolutely, it does. It makes you hustle.
Yes,
ma'am. But thank you so much, Tanya. Loved it. Really appreciate it. And you have a great night. Have a good team call with your team. And everyone, thanks for being on. And everyone, have a really, really great night.
Bye, guys.
Bye.